Money has gotten so tight that morals have completely gone out the window. Now that you can see the hot MILF next door on your tablet for a crisp Andrew Jackson. In this video, we're going to sit down together and spend some time discussing some of the measures that folks have gone to just to make ends meet. And if you personally can't relate to anything discussed in today's video, or you simply just been enjoying my daily dreamer commentaries over here on the page, then don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, opinions down below in the comments, and hit that subscribe button. I definitely appreciate everybody who's been checking out these videos daily, and a huge shout out to the handful of you guys checking out those links down below in the description. Those are always some of the best ways to support me and the content around here. Now, let's begin this shit show.
OnlyFans is about the only option that I'm getting as a suggestion on a hobby or a job that I should do because I just got fired. If you have anything else other than that, please give me input because that is just not for me. There's nothing wrong with people that do it. I just don't want to, and that's okay.
Well, gentlemen, in the modern day, this is what we have to deal with. Even the prettiest girls that might seem so innocent, this is their top third video on their TikTok. So how am I supposed to bring you home, show you to my mother, and then once you leave, she does her deep dive on the internet, and this is the first thing she sees? I mean, I'm supposed to respect myself, right? And if a girl tells you their body count, you're supposed to multiply it by 3. That's just a rule there, fellas. But who knows if that's true? But the average woman assumes that the average guy is a player. We have a huge body count. Every guy they see has fucked 100 plus girls. When the majority of guys I've talked to are virgins because they're too shy to talk to girls because they're scared of being called creeps. And at the end of the day, the budget is not really, succeeding their idea of going on dates endlessly until they find the right one. So they found themselves just at home, jerking it, spanking it, wanking it, and doing what they gotta do to get by with going on 25, 30, 35, and still never really talking to a real girl in real life. Now, this is just the average male experience. It's not everybody, but it's a lot of them. And have you experienced this yourself, or have you got a lot of action, a lot of play? Now, when I was back in high school, it was like mandatory to lose your virginity before you graduated high school, which, again, kind of goes to show how fucked up this generation is. But at the end of the day, I do want to say how a lot of these new generations, they're living online, and they're not really finding themselves going to house parties, approaching girls at the football games, or, going out on dates and stuff. They're doing everything online. They're doing e-dates, if that's, I guess that's even like a thing these days. But also, I've also kind of come to terms with a lot of those MILFs back in the day that I was talking about that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Well, I'm creeping up on being the same age as them. So now they're just single moms. Now they're just single moms that I went to school with. So maybe I have to go GILFs. Is that the new thing that's like around the corner for me? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Eating is entirely an economics problem. It is economics. Economics meaning, in my days when I met Nibal, she was one of 14 friends I knew. Okay? The economics were very straightforward. Of the 14, Nibal was the one that matched my soul most. She was the most beautiful woman on the planet for those 14 and everyone else. And so I said, I'm after this one. Today, from a supply and demand point of view, you're talking about 14 million people at any point in time that are in a market that is so complex. It's like the NASDAQ market. Literally, products are on the market instantly all the time. And the game is a game of economics. Sadly, the more supply there is, the less the value of a product, right? So if you simply said to yourself, this camera is now going to be, we're going to make 14 million copies of it because it's easier for the factory to make 14 million copies than to make 4,000. Every one of those copies, to manage to sell 14, has to go down in price, because otherwise only people who can afford the 4,000 will buy, and then you'll be left with the other 10. And that's what's happening in the dating and romance market, is that there is so much supply out there that nobody values that relationship anymore.
So apparently dating is overpriced, and so is having kids these days, leading the majority of individuals to not do either such. And can you really blame them when the budget is not even really making ends meet for the bills, the food in the fridge, and any sort of entertainment activities? Now, the entertainment's supposed to be, building a foundation, building yourself up, but at the end of the day, if you're just working, you don't really have time for a spouse. You can't really focus on really putting your all into that, and it's more of a distraction. And who needs a distraction when you need to get another job? That's the only focus we have right now. So do you think the dating market is dead? Do you think that the overall relationship is just going to be online? Do you think we're all just going to have AI girlfriends? Is that the next step to a longevity of society? Or is that just kind of the downfall of society? Because I think it's probably more of the latter than the first one.
Dating is a waste of time for most men. And the reason it's a waste of time is because they're paying for expensive dating app prescriptions and they don't get matches. They're only dating women that they're familiar with, aka their coworkers or girls they see on a daily basis. And they can never cold approach or approach a girl in general. Imagine spending $100 every 2 months for Hinge X but get no matches. Imagine getting to know a girl for 3 to 6 months and then asking her out on a date, and when she says, "Oh, I thought we were friends," back to the drawing board again, and you work on the next coworker or the next girl you're familiar with. Then when you're out and about, you see beautiful women, you just go, "Damn, she bad," and keep on walking. In conclusion, it's not that dating isn't worth it, it's just a lot of people do a lot of the wrong thing. What if your dating app profile was actually good and you were able to get 1 to 2 matches per day? Imagine not dating your coworkers and being able to approach women you see out in the wild.
Now, people wonder why the dating market is dying and why the average person just doesn't really want to get out of their comfort zone and, do what they got to do to build a family. But at the end of the day, they're doing what they got to do to survive. And with all these different factors where the average person probably doesn't feel like they fit along the alignment of what they want to bring home to their mother or what they want to build a family with in the first place. And even finding someone that you're compatible with, as hard as that is, whether that's just a friend or a significant other, which is even harder in that case, it's getting to a point where the older you get, the less you try. So maybe dying alone is just what you were born to do. But I hope it's not the case. And for me, myself, and I have kind of chosen to be single for the last few years, and I've chosen to dedicate my 20s to some of the riskier endeavors to hopefully that can pay off if I put my all into them. But even if, do you still believe in soulmates? Do you feel like everything's meant to happen for a reason? Or I also do believe, though, that you have to try. Because if you never try, you'll never really get anywhere. So kind of a mixed bag right there. I'm not really sure which one weighs more. That's going to wrap up this video discussing the shitty reality that is dating and how dating apps might be the only way. And if that doesn't work, shit. I don't know what to tell you, but I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, how your dating experience has been going lately, if you just completely opted out of the market, or if you've been loving the game, you're a bachelor, a player, a bop, whatever they call that these days, I guess, or if you've had a settled down relationship for a long time and you're married and you have a foundation and, man, fuck you, I'm jealous. I'm just joking. God bless you. But I definitely hope everybody's been enjoying these videos, and I plan to continue to be as consistent as I can with the, authentic commentary as I can and all that good stuff. So definitely appreciate the support, and a huge shout out to the handful of you guys checking out those links down below in the description. Those are always some of the best ways to support me and the content around here. That's kind of all I got for today, so I'll see you in the next one. So yeah, bye.